And action.
Hey guys, I'm Steve Zaragoza and you're watching STEEEEE Reviews.
And cut.
Alright, you gonna give me my fucking money, dude? I don't do this shit for free.
Don't worry, I'll give your animals elements.
Don't worry. Yeah, I'm worried.
We don't love it. I promise.
Alright, fine.
I'm gonna get out of here, I promise.
Yeah.
Yup, living in San Diego and being just an Amtrak and trolley ride away from the convention center does have its advantages. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of STEEEEE Reviews, and today I'm going to be talking about the new album from Mumford Sons called Wilder Mind. Mumford Sons, of course, the British folk rock band, who are definitely, I guess, one of the less likely bands to get this amount of huge mainstream success they've gotten over the past 2 years. Especially when you consider that they broke out in 2009, an absolute low point for pop music, where the club boom was at an all-time high, and indie success stories like this hadn't been a thing for maybe 5 years at that point, and wouldn't be for another couple. Now, Mumford Sons have become fairly polarizing over the years, with hipsters everywhere dismissing them as commercializing folk music and stuff like that. But to me, that's honestly only a good thing. I mean, when's the last time you heard anything close to bluegrass in the mainstream of all things? I mean, to me, there's nothing wrong with trying to put an accessible spin on an otherwise fairly forgotten, inaccessible genre, especially when you do it as well as Mumford & Sons were doing on Sigh No More. I will say that even though I love that debut album, their next one, Babel from 2012, left me a bit cold, mostly because it felt like just a stale version of the first one. The melodies were weaker, the lyrics were a lot less imaginative or evocative, and the overall sound of it was a lot more streamlined and one note, basically fitting in more with the public's general perception of them. So when they made the big announcement earlier this year, they were essentially going electric Dylan style and becoming a full-fledged rock band. Unlike a lot of their fans who, I guess, only like them for the fact that they had a banjo or something, I honestly thought this was the best move they could have possibly made to get themselves out of that stylistic box they accidentally or otherwise put themselves in. But while I can definitely say some good things about Wilder Mind, it's still definitely a mixed bag in my opinion, and you can definitely tell this is gonna be a transitional album for the discography of this band. I'll put it like this. The two bands I would probably compare this album to most are Coldplay and the Gaslight Anthem. Now, I'm a fan of both these bands, but to me this album is by far as best when they go to more the Gaslight Anthem side of things. The best moments for me are on tracks like The Wolf and Snake Eyes and the back half of Only Love, where we get these moments where the band just kicks into full gear and rocks out, and it just sounds awesome for them. Or on tracks like Thompson Square Park and the title track, where they go into these great driving grooves that maybe recall a bit of early 2000s Bruce Springsteen, and just sounds cool, for lack of a better term. And meanwhile, the song Ditmas shows them going in an almost power pop-ish direction with how the chord progression, the chorus goes on this song, and again, that sounds fantastic. Really, like I said, most of the best moments on this album are when they incorporate a bit more of a sense of energy into their sound. But strangely enough, for something that touts itself as a change to rock music, and something that shows them using electric instruments for the first time, and for a band as raucous as Mumford & Sons could get on their first couple albums, even with just acoustic instruments and a kick drum, really a good chunk of this album tends to stay in a pretty tame territory, unfortunately. Some songs like the lead single Believe just take forever to build up, and by the end of it, it's too little too late and just kinda ends up sounding like a bad outtake from Milo Xyloto, which is not the Coldplay album you want to take that much inspiration from, if you know what I mean. Monster and Cold Arms just get tedious after about the 30-second mark, just from how little they progress over the course of them. And for some reason, the closer Hot Gates co-ops this R&B style drum machine in the second half of it that just does not fit the otherwise okay sounding ballad it's going behind. Really, the only full-on low-key song here I think works is Broad Shouldered Beast, mostly because it actually doesn't sound like the band thought they could use electric instruments to make up for underwritten songs, and it actually provides something a bit different in the overcomposition of it, and I really dug that song overall. Like I said, it's clear that Mumford Sons are definitely transitioning into this new phase of their career. Obviously, I did expect this to be a bit of a mixed bag, like I said, so I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I can really see this band doing fantastic things if they more mixed this sound with that of Sigh No More to create a bit more of a hybrid. I think they could make something really distinct and interesting if they did that. But for now, if you're looking for a decent pop rock album for the summer, then it's really not that bad a way to go. Even if you shouldn't really expect every bit of it to be all that exciting, I guess. So if you guys have heard this album, what do you think about it? Do you agree with what I had to say? Do you disagree? Have any feedback about the channel in general? Let me know in the comments down below. And actually, in case you're wondering why I uploaded this 2.5 months after the release of the album itself, in a way, this was actually a bit of a request, just because when I was talking to STEEEEE at Comic-Con, and I asked what some of his favorite newer bands are, one of them that he mentioned was Mumford & Sons, so I figured, hey, what better review to put that intro in the start of. So STEEEEE, if you're watching this, I hope you enjoyed this review, even though I was a bit mixed on the album itself. Check out these other pictures I took here of Bree and Sam and some other guy. And anyway, share this around with anyone who might be interested. Like the Facebook page in the description for updates, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode of Spin It Reviews.